Okay, so campaigning points that I've identified about ATOS is lots of the ATOS assessors are not doctors. They're occupational therapists, or they've got some other medical qualification. A useful point that somebody made in the big meeting was, particularly as ATOS are now subcontracting back to the NHS because they can't deal with a million or so appeal assessments they've got, is we should work with doctors and with the BMA to get a fairer system. Claimants who are on the reduced rate pending their appeal can't survive on £71 a week, and we should also try and campaign to get that rate up to the full ESA amount whilst they're waiting for their appeal. Housing benefit, although of course this is only till the end of March, they currently have a discretion to nil assess people who've been refused benefits and to continue their housing benefit. What often happens is, if you're on what we call a passported benefit, which is only JSA or ESA, you fill in an easy form and you get your housing benefit. When people lose their ESA or the JSA, the councils take them off housing benefit, so their rent arrears go up really quickly. But the councils have a discretion to assess their income as nil, so they don't get evicted. But because everything's changing and councils won't be responsible for housing benefit once universal credit comes in, they won't be able to do that anymore. So, and another point is, you can be exempt from ATOS exams. Somebody mentioned that. Now, I don't know about that. So at the end, if anybody knows about that, that would be a useful point to bring back. Next thing, council tax. From the 1st of April, people in receipt of council tax benefit will have to pay 10%, I thought, towards their council tax bill, but somebody said that they're going to be paying, one council said they've got to pay 20%.
It depends on the council, it's discretionary decisions for the local authorities.
Again, campaigns can be won and led on this. Durham County Council, a Tory council, are protecting claimants for the next 12 months. They're not implementing the 10% cut because they're charging more for council tax for people who've got empty and second homes. Well, obviously it depends on where you come from, because there probably aren't a lot of empty and second homes in Hackney, and there are in Durham. But we can still put pressure on local councils not to implement that cut for council tax. Universal credit, which is the worst thing that's coming in and is going to be piloted in Haringey from April. It's also being piloted in areas in the northeast and the northwest, but I'm not sure which ones. So I don't know if you've got anyone here who are from Haringey or one of those boroughs. Okay, because this is particularly pertinent to you then. It's an integrated means-tested benefit which will replace all benefits for people over 18 and under pensionable age, which is now variable, who are unemployed or in low paid work. It's got all party support. Labour Party support it as well. The pilots are being rolled out from April. One of the worst things is claims can only be made online or in exceptional circumstances by phone. At least 50% of my clients wouldn't know what to do with a computer if they saw one. Lots of them can't read and write. Lots of them can't speak English. Entitlements will be worked out by a computer. You won't be able to phone anyone up about your benefit, and it includes housing benefit, which will no longer be administered by the councils. The only benefits for people of that age which won't be administered by universal credit are contribution-based JSA or ESA, which only kick in for the first 12 months after you've become unemployed, if you've paid enough national insurance contributions. It will be administered by the Department of Work and Pensions. Claims will be assessed monthly in arrears, so if you make a claim, you won't get any money for a month. Backdating claims, which at the moment for everything is 3 months, will only be for 1 month. There's no provision of the payment of any money pending appeals. There's lower disabled child additions and no adult disability premiums. And if the claimant happens to have been unfortunately self-employed in the year before they claim, they're assessed notionally at having an income of £1,400 a month if they can't provide their accounts. So this is the worst of all the benefit cuts, and obviously the first thing we have to do is to put pressure on the Labour Party, whatever you think about the Labour Party, even if you think they're complete rubbish, to withdraw their support from universal credit and to try and do that locally and nationally. We've got to give as much support as we can to the pilot areas, and as we've got people here from Haringey, we need to have a practical discussion a bit later about how we can do that. For example, our law centre from the 1st of April is going to have a branch in Haringey, some sort of satellite branch, so Hackney Law Centre. People need to collect statistics. People in the pilots, I know it's really hard, but you need to collect statistics about numbers of people who are being adversely affected and what's happening to them, and particularly statistics about people who can't get the money because they can't do it online or they haven't got bank accounts. They're the only ideas that I've got at the moment. I need to tell you that legal help, which is part of the legal aid system, which all the CABs and law centres and nice solicitors that people go to, is being stopped from the 1st of April for all benefits work, apart from appeal to the second tier tribunal on a point of law. Our law centres will have a 40% cut. We've already had to make 3 people out of 15, the tiny organisations, redundant at the end of last year. So any work that can be done to try and get reinstatement of legal help for benefit work up to the 1st tier tribunal stage would be welcome. That's all I've got to say.